Hi, I'm Doc AJ Chua and welcome to Adjusting Your Heart. Today is the finale of Dr. Gary Chapman's 5 love languages. I've talked about them for the past 5 weeks, and I've talked about how we can show love and receive love through words, gifts, time, service, and touch. In case you miss an episode, just check out our playlist. And don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell button so that you'll be notified when we upload a video every Friday. And in this episode, I'll be featuring how several people, from a child to senior citizens, apply the 5 love languages in their lives. So watch, be inspired, and spread love around. The first one I'd like to feature is Callie, the cute and compassionate daughter of Paul and Clarice Koch. Look at this cute picture, Callie with her dog. All of them are MGC members, Makati Gospel Church, and actually Callie just turned 9. And her mom messaged me and several friends and said that in lieu of gifts, her daughter would want to show love to the people who were victims of the Typhoon Ulysses. So her parents supported her. Callie and her friends are gonna design love in a box, okay? Look at this picture. Then they're gonna fill them up with snacks, toys, and stuff for other kids. They also want to donate the fruits that they sell. Actually, I'm also a customer. They have a store called Callie's Fruits Pabili. You can check them out. They have very good service. And they brought all the donations to Marikina last November 30. My next guest is Deacon Liza Tan of Jerusalem Evangelical Church. I really admire her way of showing love through service. She took very good care of mom, just look at this picture, for so many years. She also helps out at Jerusalem Evangelical Church's Women's Fellowship. You can see their happy faces. And one time we had lunch together with one of my favorite speakers, Reverend Isaiah Tingson. And one of her gifts is showing love by visiting people. And I was very touched together with my parents when they visited us when we were still living in Camñas, Quezon City. They came all the way from Binondo just to visit us, and my parents were truly happy. And not only that, when my parents moved back to Binondo, they also visited. And from time to time, Deacon Lydia would also give my parents tikoy. Another person who's also gifted with the gift of service is Elder Lydia Chong of UECP. She devotes her time to serve God by caring for people. And my mom was a recipient of that. Way back in 1988, when my mom had aneurysm, she and other EE fellowship members visited my mom. Actually, I don't know her at the time. So my dad just said, oh, there's a certain Elder Lydia Chong who visited. And they even gave mamon. So my dad remembered that. So you can see from this picture, she's a very happy person. And in the next picture that I'm gonna show, she also served us while we were at our mentorship retreat together with San Otzi. Okay, sad to say San Otzi has already passed away, but they would prepare food for us. They would make our stay very comfortable. So, indeed, that's one way we can show love, through service. Another is Elder Leonida Bendicion. Look at this nice family picture. Together with her husband, Elder Gideon, her 2 sons, Gids and Isaiah, and daughter-in-law, Alexandra, and of course, their 2 cute grandkids. She has a big heart and also a very good listener. We're both trained together for Stephen Ministry, and we have trained others to care for those who are hurting. And in this picture you can see, was taken at Ilustrado. She treated us together with Donna, Beth, Rachel, Rowena, and Debbie. And the next picture would show you other Stephen ministers. Okay, they were also trained. Like my Aunt Pastita, my Aunt Maria, then Purita, Sister Purita, okay, Sister Lydia Chong is also here, Sister Poyong, Sister Pauling, Joyce, Vivian. Sad to say, the 2 guys were absent, Ponson and Brother Edward. And she was the one who taught me how to use a moisturizer. So you look at her face, she still looks very, very young. And I still remember how she showed love to my family when she visited my dad, who just had an operation. And she even brought lapu-lapu soup. Next, I'd like to talk about are my friendly neighbors and MGC colleagues, Pastor Colin and Pastor Nympha Law. This pic is taken together with their son, Nathan. The first time we moved to Cityland, De La Rosa, they were the first one who gave us food. And we really treasure that because, like I said, I'm not a very good cook. And now that it's pandemic, of course, from time to time, they would also share food with us. And not only that, they're better than Grab because they would deliver stuff to our unit, okay? The other Grab drivers cannot do that. And Pastor Colin is also gifted with a gift of service when we could see that when he would drive elderly people. He's the one in charge of Evergreen Fellowship. You can join our Zoom meeting every Wednesday morning. For Thursday, we have Women's Fellowship. That's also over Zoom. He would drive the elderly, let's say, to the hospital, to the airport. And he also took care of Nympha when Nympha had to undergo an operation recently. And for Nympha, she also had the gift of service. I remember way back when they were still living in Binondo, I visited them. She cooked steak for me. That's the first time somebody cooked steak for me, and I will always remember that. She teaches elementary student at MGC New Life, and she's also very much involved with 1 for 50. You can check out this video. It's entitled How Encouragement Empowers Our Children, and she compared flower parents versus tree parents. You can listen to that and you would see, and I hope all of you would be tree parents, okay? I'll put on the link there. And she's also in charge of MGC Church Junior. This is just like a Sunday school, it's for kids. You can check out this very nice logo and also nice posters. Like, these are the things that we teach the kids, like use your words to encourage someone today. Say sorry to someone whom you have hurt. Serve everyone in the dinner table before yourself. Help out with chores at home. Give your parents a massage and top it off with a hug. So in case you want your kids to join, just message me and I'll connect you with her. They meet over Zoom every Sunday afternoon. There will be singing. You can check out this an excerpt from the video. They would have games and stories, and we teach them a lot of good moral values. And when it comes to the gift of time, I believe my friends Abet and Tina would really show it. I see from this Facebook, my friends, all of the people that or most of the people I'm featuring here, they don't know. It's a surprise because I feel that the Asians are generally shy. When I ask them to share their stories, they don't like to share because they feel embarrassed. But these are the pictures I've found in Facebook, so I know that they can be shared. And of course, I only say good things. So you can see from this picture, Abet, Tina is my good friend from high school way back in Chiang Kai-shek days, and Aldrich, their son. They're playing board games together. Okay, the board game is entitled Ticket to Ride. And from the next picture, you could see that all of us together with me, Hans, Portian, and Jennifer Filipino, we went to Hokkaido and we learned how to make ice cream. So they also spent time together by traveling together. And they also celebrated wins. That's what I share with you, right? They celebrated Tina's birthday. You could see all of them wearing red, and it's personalized. Each of them had their own names in it. And you will also see on that day, Abet posted in Facebook, okay, a picture of him and Tina and his greeting. So that's also the love language of words. And they also spend time together by joining Glory Evangelical Church's Bible study and their Serendra Bible study group. So that's one way they spend time together. And now I'm also gonna feature to you Kuya Richard Doctolero. Actually, I've known him for quite some time. He has been a driver at UECP for already 11 years. So that's how faithful he is. Look at this picture. From left to right, okay, the uttermost left, that's Kuya Richard. Then we have Kuya Ray, Kuya Mario, Kuya Robert, Kuya Bobet, and of course their boss Choco. These were my former colleagues when I was still at UECP. They're all very, very kind and very faithful. And right now, Kuya Richard, besides working at UECP, he also serves part-time as a JoyRide driver. And he belongs to the Cabanava chapter. And check out his number. So in case you need somebody, he can be trusted. And he's also a very good driver. So check him out. You can call this number, okay? And he told me that the president of this Cabanava chapter is President Tiff Padua. Okay, I'm also gonna flash her number or put it in the link below. And what touched me was, because he's my friend in Facebook, all of them are, I saw that together with other JoyRide bikers, they helped the Typhoon Ulysses victims. Okay, you can check out these pictures. They asked for donations, and they took time to repack it, and then they delivered it themselves. And this is not only the first time. They even donated to those who have been victims of the quake victims at the Taal volcano, and they also gave to street people. And now I'm gonna show you his family picture together with his wife Liza and 2 sons. In case you need pots, right now there are a lot of plantitas. You need pots. Okay, here are some pots that they sell. I'm also gonna put Lisa's number below. My friends, I won't earn anything from this. Actually, this is my way of also helping them, because I'm touched that even in their own circumstances, they also want to reach out to other people. Next would be Reverend Tony and Pastor Nancy Cheng of UECP. In this picture, you could see them together with their lovely daughters, Hannah and Nielle, both whom are working at Hope Christian High School. This family is very, very hospitable. In fact, when I was still there, when I don't have anything to eat during lunch, I'll be invited, because Pastor Nancy would invite all of the staff. Any of the staff who would want to join them for lunch can join them. And Pastor Tony is also very good in visiting people. And anytime we need to hitch with somebody, we can hitch with him. Pastor Nancy has a heart for the poor. Of course, with the support of her husband. She served before to the marginalized people who lived in Payatas. And now she's also heading the UECP Urban Neighborhood Ministry. They also now have an outreach for the people in Santa Ana. And what touched me most about this family is, look at this picture. It's an old picture wherein Nielle and Hannah were still very, very small. It's with Peter, okay, the guy who's there who's not part of the family. Actually, Peter was in a way their adopted son. He was sleeping in the streets. And out of a good heart, they invited him to their home. They fed him, they bathed him, they helped him. And he improved, okay, in terms of his psychological state. So he was able to, in a way, serve as a messenger, or he helps in UECP. But that's a complete stranger, and they took care of him for so many years until Brother Peter died. So that's one thing that I really admire about this couple. And in case you would also want to check out their daughter's, Nielle's YouTube channel, I put the link below. It's also very funny. She said she wants to entertain people during this time of pandemic. And the last family that I'd like to feature would be the Tan Pascual family. Look at this picture. That's Zeus, Anna, Nathan, and Sandra. We've been friends with them for a very, very long time. Anna was my batchmate at Chiang Kai-shek College, while Pastor Zeus from our YGC days. They went to Shanghai for several years, and there they have a church member who heads the foundation called Pao Pei. They would raise funds to pay for the surgery of abandoned Chinese children. And after the surgery, the foundation would look for a foster home for these abandoned children. And there's a baby there named Kay. We'll call him Kay. Kay was born with hydrocephalus, so he had a very big head, which means it's hard for him to move his head or body. So the Tan Pascual family took him in when he was about 10 months old at the time. But only after a week, and then another family would take care of this kid. And from time to time, they would shuffle the kid to and fro. But eventually, whenever the kid whenever Kay was at another person's home, he would keep on crying, because by this time he can already recognize people, and he prefers to be with the Tan Pascual family. But they also have a problem because, one, they're very busy. They're busy with homeschooling, with their work, with ministry, and they're not sure they could handle another responsibility. On top of that, to take care of this kid, they have to hire a helper for several hours a day, which is very expensive in Shanghai. So they prayed, but after praying, they were moved. So they decided they're gonna help this kid. And you know what? God opened a way. Somebody called them up just after they decided and said, if I would be willing to pay for anyone who would be willing to help this kid, pay for the helper. So that solved the problem. So Kay stayed with him until he was 2 years old. By that time, wow, he was able to roll over, sit, hold his head up, crawl, eat by himself, and speak a few words. And thank God that an American missionary couple was willing to adopt him. But the problem is they don't have much savings. In order to adopt a child like this, they need to show that they have $25,000. That's dollars, US dollars. That's very expensive. So what the church did was that they came around together with the Tan Pascual family, then they raised that fund. And they were able to send Kay to this missionary couple. And so right now, the Tan Pascual family still calls up Kay because they see him as their own son. And I forgot to tell you, it was really a miracle because it took them only 6 weeks to raise that $25,000. So now they would still have video calls with Kay. Every few months they would call, and now they're very happy. You look at these pictures that he can talk, he can walk, and now he can go to a regular kindergarten. Imagine if he has not been adopted and nobody would give him extra care. He would have a miserable life. So thank God for people like them. But because of this kid, the Tan Pascual family got involved in other orphanages, whether it's in China and even in India. That's why they went on a short-term mission trip to Nepal. So after coming back, they kept in touch, and a pastor friend told them that there was a landslide which killed a lot of people. So they thought, with winter coming up, the temperatures go down to sub-zero there. It's super cold. So the Tan Pascual actually thought of raising funds to provide winter jackets to those who completely lost their home, and that would cost 198,000 pesos, Philippine pesos. So they would send letters just like this poster. I received one, and I was privileged to be part of this fundraising. I also gave, and you know what? They were able to raise that fund in 5 days. And the Tan Pascual family told me that it's God's way of telling that this is me working. Just like I help you raise funds for Kay, now I'm helping you because you have a heart to help these people in Nepal. Not only that, in the end, God sent them enough money to buy jackets for all the 800 people in that village. So I hope that may each of the stories that I've shared inspire all of us, not only to show love to our family members, to our relatives, to our friends, but also to our community, especially here in the Philippines. There's so many people in need because of the pandemic, because of the crisis, because of the calamities. But we could, beyond that, we can also go help other people in other countries. So I hope that through us, more people would also be blessed, and indeed to God be all the glory. And if someone has been a blessing to you, just put it in the comment below so that we would know, and let's spread good vibes around. And of course, right now, I'd like to especially thank our viewers or people who would constantly share our videos. Aldwin Atinon, Betsy Choa, Helena Trinidad, Jocelyn Onglu, Mala Chatani, Angelica Wong, Carol Simeon C, Jacqueline Maitan, Lon C, Mark Luther Chua, Arlene Yu, Caroline Magos, Jane Ong Lim, and Lulu D. Thank you and stay safe, everyone.